I think you guys will take 2 to 3 minutes to join in. So we will wait for a minute. And meanwhile, if someone can confirm whether my voice is loud and clear and there is no distractions, it will be helpful. So can I see some messages? Hi Soumya. Hey Hemal. Good to see you join before time. Hey John Paul. Yes, loud and clear. Thanks for confirming. Hey Ashish, Neha, Pritiman, Ankit. I think Ankit, you have joined last time as well, right? I can see many of the names who joined last time. Good to see you guys are attending the sessions multiple times. Thanks for confirming. Crystal clear. Thanks for that. Thanks, Larish. I can see the number is increasing. Okay, people are joining. So normally I wait for 2 to 3 minutes maximum. Fine, and then we will continue. And don't worry, I won't waste much of your time. Okay, and we will directly jump into the question answer sessions. And in between, if in case, okay, the voice goes out or any distraction comes in, please put that in the chat because I cannot hear you, right? So if any problems, any troubles, please put in the chat so that I can see and take some actions on it. Fine. So let's wait for a minute more, okay, and then we will start the session. I can see the number is increasing. And thanks for your patience, whoever have joined on time, right? Hey Ahmad, good to see you again too. John Paul, thank you. Thank you for the message. Fine. So it's 3 minutes into the call. Okay. So the session actually. So let's start. Fine. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all. I know you guys are joining from different time zones. So here we go. So first of all, I want to thank and welcome each one of you on behalf of EduHubSpot. So these sessions are conducted on behalf of EduHubSpot, and I am Nideesh-Balakrishnan, one of the lead PMP mentor at EduHub. So the basic reason we conduct these sessions are to help all the PMP aspirants, because understanding the concepts is one part of your preparations for PMP, so-called the toughest certification exam, and the second very important part, okay, whatever you have understood as a conceptual understanding, how to implement them, okay, while answering the questions, right? We all know that PMP questions are scenario based questions and very tricky, right, and very twisted, and they are tough, right? So we will, through these sessions, we try to help all the PMP aspirants out there, okay, how to tackle, okay, the PMP pattern questions. So these are practice questions from our side which matches the PMP patterns, fine, and this will be a good practice for you all. Fine. So again, when I'm going to, okay, I'll tell the agenda in some time. Okay. So the people who have joined for the first time, okay, the people already who joined before, they know how the session works. But the people who have joined for the first time, so let me explain how it works a minute. Okay, and then we'll start the questions. So how it works is I'm going to place a question, a PMP practice question in front of you in the screen. Okay. So and there will be a timer on it. Okay, because your PMP exam Okay, again it is for 230 minutes with 180 questions. So you get exactly 1 minute 16 seconds for answering each question, right? So in that, within that minute, you have to read the question, understand it, and then read the options and select the best choice. Fine. So I'm just making you practice, little quicker, okay, so that you can perform better. Fine. So I'll have a timer of 1 minute. So I'll post a question, I'll have a timer of 1 minute. So within that time, you have to read the question, understand, and then post your answer in the chat. Fine. So please post your answer in the chat. If possible, okay, try to add some reasoning as well. A small reasoning. You don't have to write stories, right? A small reasoning which will, okay, I can pick and show in the screen that, who is very close to it. Fine. So that will be some interesting part we can do in this session. Fine. Anyways, we cannot interact, but at least, this chat support, I can show who is very near to the answer and the reason for that. And it will be very interesting. Let's see who wins on that. Fine. So that is how it works. So you have to read the question with the timer and you have to answer in the message. Fine. And the motive again, okay, I want you to take some extra conceptual understanding today home. So the when I'm going to reveal the answers, I will reveal the reason behind the answer, and also I'll try to add some conceptual understanding behind it so that you can take some extra bonus, back home. Fine. So not wasting your time anymore. So let's jump into the first question. Okay. So I'm going to post number one question on the screen. Okay. So please be ready for that. And once it is there, I'll start the timer, read the question, and start right away. So let me post the question. Here we go. So 30 seconds are gone. 10 more seconds left. I know it's a long question. I'll give you some 10 to 20 seconds buffer on it. So time up, guys. I'm giving you 10 seconds bonus. Okay, here we go. Anjan, congratulations. You're the first one to answer. And it is multiple choice question. If you see it, it asks to choose, the two answers. So please post your two answers here. Okay, I can see B and C, B and D. Okay, C, D. Okay, let me see a couple of more choices and then let me reveal the answer. Okay, the fight is between C and D, B and D, right? So you guys, and B and C, sorry, it's a combination of three. So I can see B and C, and then I can see B and D, and then I can see C and D. Okay, interesting. Fine. So let me reveal the answer. Okay, so I have good number here. So let me read now. Many of my students say, Nideesh, okay, in the classes and also after the question answer sessions, that we want to practice multiple choice questions. Fine. So that's the reason I have brought two multiple choice questions today, so you'll have a good experience. So let me read this question for now. So midway through execution, a client voices concerns during a project review meeting that the current deliverables may not satisfy the quality standards due to some perceived missing requirements. Fine. So that's the point here. However, the project team maintains that all the work completed thus far aligns precisely with the documented and approved project scope and requirements. Fine. Now there is a different viewpoints from the customer and the team members. So how should the project manager respond in order to resolve the concerns while maintaining adherence to the agreed project baselines? Fine. So select the two choices here. Now we understood the problem statement, right? And let's see, what is the best way out. A says, now nobody of you have selected A, so I believe collectively the whole group have rejected A. But anyways, let me read it. Engage the sponsor to negotiate potential budget and timeline adjustments that may accommodate the client's evolving expectations. Now, yeah, I can understand why you guys have, collectively said no to it. So definitely we are not yet there, right? It's not like just client comes and says some requirements are missed, and the next step I go and ask my sponsor, whether we have a budget. No, we are not yet there, so I won't go with A. So I'm crossing it out. A. B. Okay, facilitate a discussion with the client referencing the approved scope statement, requirements documentation, and acceptance criteria to clarify any misunderstandings and align expectations. Perfect. Right, so that should be my first step, because customer is saying that something is missed in the requirements and my team is saying no, it's as per the baseline. So definitely we want to understand why customer is feeling, right, there is a missing items in the requirement. So a discussion, okay, referring to the signed baseline documents and all the requirement documents, acceptance criteria, will be a very good discussion to understand why there is, why they feel there's something missing. Fine. Number one. Second, let's say, so I'm going with B as one of the correct options. Initiate an impact assessment of the perceived missing requirement by the project team and assess whether there is a budget flexibility by discussing with the sponsor. Initiate an impact assessment of the perceived missing requirements. Look, whoever has selected C, I can understand from where you are thinking. Fine. So let me, give you other viewpoint on it. The read carefully, we have to read very carefully. Initiate an impact assessment of the perceived missing requirement. Now this statement says they have already decided something is missing. Fine. And then they are saying you do the impact analysis on the missing item and see how it is going to impact the project, and then check for the budget flexibility. Do you guys think, now you rethink, the people who have selected C, do you think we have already decided that it is missing? No. B is we are going to discuss that, why they feel something is missing and all. Fine. So C is not a correct choice here. Fine. So it's okay, the way you have thought is good. Okay, I won't say it seems to be good, right? But yeah, it's not exactly the situation right now. Fine. Now D. Okay, D says request the client to raise a formal change request, enabling an evaluation of the additional expectations through the change control process. Now, again, if you compare C and D, D makes much more sense. If in case the customer feels, okay, there is something missing, look, during execution, what is the question says? It is during execution, right? During execution, if the customer feel something is missing in the requirement, right? Any additions to the scopes, definitely it is change control process. Fine. So if in case they feel the documents itself is missing something, okay, in that case they have to raise a change request. Fine. So definitely D is a correct choice for me. So definitely a discussion with the customer to understand why they feel something is missing. Okay, is good point. And D, okay, if in case they feel something is missing, please go ahead and request a change request. Now, anyway, I have got two correct answers. Okay, let's see if in case we have a better choice. What if? Right? That's what PMI is, tricky. Fine. So PMI is never about 2 plus 2 equal to 4. Right? It's not mathematical question, right? So it's a project management question, and we have to answer based on the PMI teaching, which is the best choices. So there might be one more better choice. Let's see. Begin rework, but collectively you guys are rejected, so I don't have much hope here. So begin reworking the deliverables immediately. I'll cut short. Okay, I'm not going to rework on the deliverables immediately because we are not, come to any conclusion. So yes, B and D is the correct choice here. Fine. So let's go with B and D. Now, tip of the day. Okay, when you have such long questions, okay, complicated questions, I would personally prefer you guys spend maximum 2 minutes, not more than that. Fine. Maximum 2 minutes, else you'll fall into a trap. of spending overspending time on certain questions. Let's say you have 10 long questions and you spend 4 minutes on each question. It means you're spending 2 minutes extra on each questions. It means 20 minutes is gone, which is like, as per PMI, if you do 20 divided by 1.6 minutes, per question, so many questions you're missing out there, right? So please make sure time management is very, very, very important for your PMP questions. Okay, to crack your PMP exam, time management is very important. Easy questions you answer in 1 minute. Tough questions, maximum two, not more than that. It will balance it out. Okay, and again, there is one more tip, which I'll give later. Overall, how to manage time. Fine. So let's go to question number 2. I hope you guys are with me. Are you guys with me for this question? Can I see some messages here? Okay, thanks for the messages. So let's proceed now. So I'm just submitting the answers. Yeah, that's the correct answer, B and D. Let's go to the next question quickly. I'll increase the size. Fine. I hope this is visible. Let me start the timer. Now, this one is very small. I expect you guys to answer within 40 seconds. And it's already gone. So, can I see some answers? Hey, Ankit, congratulations. You have started answering first. Ankit Desai. Sorry, guys. Couple of you have shown a message. I will show it later. But anyways, so I can get nice. Very many of you have already answered. So I can see uh, B, C. Okay, the fight is between B and C. Somebody saying A and D is not the correct choice. Okay, so you tell me which is the correct one. C and B. The fight is between C and B. B for Bravo, C for Charlie. Fine. So let me read the question then. Okay, so during a performance assessment, a project manager identifies early signs of deviation from the project management plan. So there is a deviation. Now it is execution phase. Okay, the during the performance assessment, he saw there's a deviation. Fine. Early signs of deviation. Although no immediate damage or defect has occurred, the manager collaborates with the team to modify a planned activity in order to avoid future issues and improve project alignment. Beautiful. Right. Now the question is, now they have told it's not a problem statement actually. Okay, it's the situation in the project. Okay, right now actually they figured out a problem statement and already a solution kind of thing is provided. Right. Now what best describes this type of proactive intervention? Already the it's like given the answer, but anyways, A says defect repair to restore functionality to a non-conforming. Look, there's no defect repair here. Fine. So it's already says there's no damage done. So A is gone. Okay. So I don't think anybody have selected A. B, preventive action taken to avoid potential further deviations from the plan. Definitely it is correct. Right? It's a preventive action what we have took. Fine. To avoid potential future deviation from the plan. So that is, aligning with the question. Let's see what is C. Many of you have gone with C as well. Corrective action implemented to realign project performances after measurable deviations have already occurred. Look, if you read the question carefully, I agree again, okay, from where you're thinking from. But when you compare B and C, what we have done? We have done a preventive action, right? As the question says, right? Proactive intervention. Fine. As it says proactive intervention, actually we have took a preventive action. We noticed that there's an early sign of deviation. Based on that, we have, it's not like corrective action. We noticed that some deviation is going to cause a problem. So it's a preventive action. The risk was identified, okay, and then we have planned for a response to mitigate it. That's what actually it is. Fine. So B is the best choice here. Better choice here than C. And D says closure of a completed task without further follow up. No, boss. Okay, it's completely out of the line. So B is the correct choice. Fine. So let's go to the next question quickly. I have already done with 20 minutes actually, and we have done with only two questions. Let's speed it up. Cool. So let's go to the next one without wasting any time. And the question is here. Let me, sorry, decrease the size a little. Yeah. So let me start the timer. Here we go. Vijendra, congratulations. You are the one who have put the answer so quick. Nice to see that. Vijendra, Sandeep, Adora, and Kamal. All three of you almost in the same minute. So can I see more answers here? Cool. Now I can see many answers are popping in. Okay, again the fight is between two choices. Okay, here comes the third one. So A, B, C. The choices are A, B, C now. A, B, B, C. Okay. You guys are going with A, B, C. Okay. So no one with D. The poor fellow is alone there. Anyways, let me try the question. So the question says during execution, a project team member independently resolved a technical issue using a workaround but doesn't document or communicate it to the project manager. Fine. 2 weeks later, a similar issue resurfaces and causes avoidable delays, okay, because the workaround was not widely known or reused. Okay, what action should have been taken to ensure the knowledge gained from the first occurrence could have been used to avoid repeating the same problem? If you see, the question itself, without reading anything, I can directly say it is something related to your lessons learned. Fine. So, what is lessons learned in your project? Any lessons learned by the team, okay, during the execution planning, anytime. So, during any time in the project, okay, so your project team maintains a lessons learned register, okay, where as per the PMI guidelines, okay, whenever a team is learning or team member is learning anything new in the project, it should be documented in the lessons learned register. Why? The reason is so that it can be used in the current project. Fine. So if in case the problem again occurs, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, you don't have to waste time on it, right? Because other team member might not know, already you have provided a solution, right? So the knowledge has to be shared with the team. Fine. And the lessons learned register, okay, once the project is getting finished, it will be archived in the OPA. And from there, okay, any of your other projects in the organization, okay, can also refer the lessons learned, and they can also avoid such delays in their project. So already, if you have a solution, if they have a same kind of situation and problem, they don't have to spend time to do the root cause analysis and then come up with a new solution. So it saves time, right? And also, when you already have a solution, why to again break your head, right? So lessons learned register is a very, very, very important concept again in PMI project management. Fine. So let's read the answers. A says record the workaround in the issue log and update the risk register to account for the likelihood of reoccurrence and its potential project impact. Look, I won't say it is wrong. Okay, I won't say it is wrong, but the statement is fine, good, correct, never it is wrong. Okay, if I have a problem, it should be registered in the issue log. Okay, not the solution, huh? I'm saying, okay, if you have an issue in your project, it should be registered in the issue log, and the workaround should be mentioned there. What is the workaround we have taken? Fine. And also, if in case the team identified, it can be a potential, okay, it might also cause some future problems, same kind of problems in the project, then that is the risk identified. I would like to register that in the risk. But nowhere in the questions that is mentioned that team already identified it as a risk. No. Number one. Fine. Second, okay, is it going to, this particular action is not going to avoid what is being stated in the question? Fine. So whenever somebody wants to, have an issue and they want to see what are the lessons learned, it's first lessons learned registers what is, referred. But anyways, statement A is not completely correct based on the question. If you read it independently, it looks good. But based on the question, never a risk was identified. Fine. So I won't go with the anyways. B, schedule a retrospective session with the team, okay, to analyze the workaround, assess technical implications, and determine whether process adjustments are required. Beautiful again. Okay, it's very nice to, when you read it looks very nice, right? It's a very collaborative approach. The team is discussing, retrospecting, blah, blah, blah. But is it going to avoid my, the problem in the question, right? No, it's not. Okay, it's something that if you have a problem, team is retrospecting and seeing how what to do next and all. But here, that's not my problem. The same problem occurred, okay, and because it was not documented, second time it got delayed, the solution. Right now, how to avoid such situations in your project? C says capture the workaround as a lessons learned by updating the organization process assets. Perfect. So when you update the lessons learned, okay, your current project, no, there is a solution for this problem. If it's updated in the OPA, organizational process assets, OPA, if it is updated in the OPA, the whole organization have access to the OPA. So again, in the organization itself, any project have the same problem, okay, occurred, they can refer and it can be reused. So within the project, across the organization, it can be reused. So definitely C is the best choice. Fine. D says conduct a root cause analysis to understand the origin of the issue. Look, again, the question is not about the issue, right? The question is the same issue occurred again in the project, and because previously the lessons learned was not documented, no one was aware of it, that's the reason it got a delay in the solution, right? So C is the best choice. So whenever you're reading the questions, right, make sure you understand the question properly. So if you see all the answers, if you read independently, they might look good, right? None of the options here independently looks wrong to me, right? But again, when you see at the context of the question, okay, how to avoid this particular solution, so situation, that is the question, right? So for that, C is the best choice. Fine. So again, PMI is all about selecting the best choice, okay, based on the PMI teachings. Let's go to the next question. Now, again, many of my students complain, Nideesh, you're not making us practice mathematical questions. Okay, so here we go. I have brought in one mathematical questions here. So let me start the timer. It's on. Manasman, I will answer you. You have asked the question right. I will answer you after this. Beautiful. People have already answered you. Anyways, so 10 more seconds to go. Can I see some answers here? Yep, I can see already answers are coming. Now, this is mathematical questions. You have only one option. Okay, so that's the only correct option. It's not like what is best. So, collectively, you guys are going with B. So, it's not a tough question, right? It's very easy, straightforward. So, let me discuss this then directly. Right. So while developing a schedule for a high priority uncertain task, okay, a project manager receives the following estimations from the team. So optimistic estimation, O is for 3 weeks, most likely estimation 5 weeks, pessimistic estimation 7 weeks. Now, people who doesn't know, okay, I'll explain a little later. The project manager decides to apply the program evaluation and review techniques, okay, to determine the expected duration of this activity. Now, what is program evaluation and review technique? Anyone want to put a message in the chat? What is this? What is program evaluation and review technique? Somebody have put the formula here. That's good to see. Anyways, okay, let me select the answer, okay, and show it here because I cannot speak it. So here, program evaluation and review technique is PERT, P-E-R-T, right? So PERT, it comes under your 3-point estimation, okay, technique. So it's one of the estimation techniques. So what all estimation techniques you have? Anybody can put in the chat. Can I see some answers for that? Okay, PMI talks about 4 estimation techniques for predictive project basically. So one is your analogous, one is your parametric, right, and one is your bottom up approach, and one is your 3-point. Anyways, okay, let me explain. So 3-point, the formula as somebody have put here, it is O plus 4M plus P. Okay, so O stands for your optimistic. Optimistic means okay something. Okay, let me explain here on this. Fine. So optimistic means, okay, if you, let's say, when you use 3-point estimation, let me give you some insight on that. Okay, you use 3-point estimation when the task is uncertain, when you don't have an expert, okay, with you who can estimate the task, precisely, accurately, right? So whenever you're estimating a project, not necessary. So it is basically for predictive. Okay, so it's not necessary that all the time you have an SME with you, to who knows everything, every task to be estimated. So sometimes there might be some task or work packages where you want to estimate, okay, and you don't have that subject matter experts with you who can give you an accurate estimation on that. So when such uncertainty comes into picture, 3-point estimation is one of the suggested method from PMI, the best practices. Okay, now what is O? Okay, here stands for, right? The formula says O plus 4M plus P. O stands for optimistic. Optimistic means if in case we are going to do the task, okay, if everything goes perfectly fine as planned, okay, how much time it is going to take? M, okay, most likely. Most likely means, okay, if things go, on practical grounds, if in case things are going fine, okay, normal way, there are some hiccups and all, but practically how much time it will take? Right. And P, pessimistic, stands for the worst case scenario. Everything is going other way around. Whatever you plan is going wrong way. People are on sick leave, technical issues, blah blah blah. Worst case scenarios. How much time you're going to take? So optimistic plus, okay, 4M is, why they are giving 4? Because if in case, again, there is two ways of 3-point estimation. Okay, the first one, the triangle ways, okay, is O plus M plus P divided by 3, where you're directly taking the average. So when your SME have no clue, okay, not no clue, but not very sure of the task, they are very uncertain, then they go for O plus M plus P divided by 3. They directly average it out. But if in case the SME have some idea, okay, they are not the expert in this area particularly, but still they have used, okay, or they have done this task in past, they have some idea about it. In that case, we are giving a more weightage to M, which is most likely, because they have some experience, they have some knowledge about the task. So we want to give more weightage, not we, the formula. Okay, so the formula is giving more weightage to the most likely. Why? Because definitely it will be more accurate. Fine, because they have some idea. So that's the reason they're giving one weightage to optimistic, four weightage to most likely, one weightage to pessimistic. So it becomes 1 plus 4 plus 1, 6. So by average, they are taking divide by 6. Fine. So that is why your PERT formula is such way. So the answer is here clearly 5. Okay, you guys have got it correct. So let's go to the next question in that case. So let me change the view for you guys. So last question for the day. Okay, and again I have brought you multiple choices. Okay, and before I proceed, okay, the people always ask me, Nitish, what I have to prepare for mathematics. I'm very confused with maths, blah blah blah. Right, so look, from Pimbox 7th edition, okay, from 2021 onwards, maths questions are very less in PMP exams. Okay, and definitely you guys have to practice, but I personally suggest whenever you're going for mathematical questions, you practice, all the mathematical aspects of PMP, but yeah, focus on 3 point estimation. Okay, focus on 3 point estimation, focus of focus on EVM, earned value management, and focus on communication channel. So that's very simple formula. Okay, if in case you have n number of people in the room, the communication channel for that n number of people is n into n minus 1 divided by 2, if I'm not wrong. But anyways, you check the formula later. So communication channel. Okay, these three you focus. Okay, another you can practice, definitely, no, nothing wrong in it, but I would prefer, you guys have to focus on these three areas. Fine. So let's go to the next one. So before I go, I also promise one more tip I'll give. So at the end, maybe I'll try to give that. So let's go to the next one. This is the last question for the day, and I have, so please remember, this is select two choices. So let me increase the size. It's too much to read. I hope it is visible for you guys. So here we go. So 3, 2, 1, 0. Your time is up. Please start your answers. Okay, great. John Paul, you're the first one to answer. Congratulations. You have selected. I don't want to reveal as people will, start putting the same. Let's see. Collectively, you guys are going with same options. Good to see that. Okay, B and D, multiple choices. You guys are going same direction. But anyways, before I reveal the answer, okay, I promise that I'll show some on screen messages who have done some good work on explaining some of the answers. And before I go, yes, Manasman, you asked that, that lessons learned register, right? So as somebody said in the chat, right, lessons learned register is a continuous process throughout the project. Fine. So from the beginning, okay, from the beginning of the project, lessons learned register is, created, and it is continuously maintained. Again, why you want to continuously maintain? What if the same questions, stated that because, it was not registered in the lessons learned register, same project had a problem and it got delayed. Fine. So for that reason, PMI always suggests that lessons learned register should be created at the beginning, and then it is a continuously should be updated. So PM, okay, have to find a way to update the lessons learned register continuously. Right. So PMs have to conduct, regular meetings, let's say once in a month, once in, 2 weeks. If in case the project is too complex. So PMI is not suggesting exact frequency, Okay, I'm just saying some hypothetical numbers here. So based on your project complexity, you have to decide, okay, if in case you guys are having too much of lessons learned in the projects, go for bi-weekly, or else once in a month. So once in a month or bi-weekly, some meetings has to be conducted where the whole team is sitting and they are documenting the lessons learned register, they're discussing what they have learned, and so on, so that it is documented and it is not going anywhere else. One thing, it is not hidden. Okay, you're not keeping it hidden that nobody else knows what happened. Second, if in case the person leaves, the knowledge is leaving with that person, right? So you cannot leave the knowledge like that. So if in case it is documented, it stays with the team, with the project, with the organization. Fine. So it's very important to have a continuous uh, documentation of lessons learned. So that is your answer. And previously somebody have given me answers with reasoning. So somebody used elimination technique. Okay, I just want to show congratulations, that was actually good work you done. Okay, so that is good. Second, it said, in line with agreed baseline, no additional scope or budget should be directly executed. Okay, that's also a good one from you. Anyways, let's go to the answer for the last one. Okay, so already it's 40 minutes gone for me. So let's start reading the question now. So, anyways, you guys have collectively gone with B and D. I feel you guys are right. But anyways, let's see. So the question says, a global enterprise is deploying a centralized enterprise software solution expected to transform operations across multiple regional and departmental units. Now, please, one thing, okay, whenever you're reading such complicated lines that, global enterprises deploying a centralized blah, 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 right? Look, PMI never tests your industry specific expertise, right? PMI is generic for any project management, any industry you take, right? In my classes, I have people from oil and gas, from construction, okay, from pharmaceutical industry, from finance, okay, IT, so on. So people are coming, banking, insurance, different industries. So they are not actually trying to check or test your industry specific skill set. So whenever you have such lines, right, you don't have to be worried about, oh my god, I don't know this industry. Never ever. It's all about your project management. They will focus the question on project management. So when you're reading the question, focus on that part. Fine. So let's see. With a diverse stakeholder base, okay, and significant business impact, the project manager is tasked with ensuring that all stakeholder, okay, groups have aligned expectations about outcomes and involvement throughout the project life cycle. So simple basic, okay, is what is the statement of the question, that a project manager is tasked, okay, with ensuring that all stakeholder groups have aligned expectations about outcomes. Now if you read two parts, okay, it's not, this request is there only because the first part is about centralizing enterprise software and all. No, any project, okay, the stakeholder groups have to be aligned with the expectations and outcomes and all. Fine. So anyway, the PM have to do this job, whatever project it is. So try to understand the question is focusing on project management aspects. Fine. So let's read the question. Sorry, options. So you have to select the best two choices here. A says risk breakdown structure to categorize and assess stakeholder related risks. Look, it's good. I can use risk breakdown structure, okay, to check the risk, but the question is not asking to you identify the risk, related to it. The question is saying ensuring that all stakeholder group have aligned expectations. So thank you, you have not selected A. B, stakeholder engagement plan to define strategies for managing stakeholder expectations. Perfect, right? Why you create stakeholder engagement plan? The reason it is given here and perfectly matches with the question. C, statement of work to capture contractual deliverables and scope. Again, not at all aligned with the question, right? It's completely opposite side. So I won't go with C at all. D, stakeholder engagement assessment matrix to analyze current versus decide. Again, beautiful. Look, stakeholder engagement, oops, stakeholder engagement plan, right? So stakeholder engagement plan is the document, okay, and stakeholder engagement assessment matrix, SEAM. So SEAM is a tool which is actually inside your stakeholder engagement plan. Fine. And what is this tool for? This tool is to assess your stakeholders current level of engagement in the project, and then what is your desired level of engagement. Fine. So if I start taking SEAM, I will take in my classes, I explain, at least 15 to 20 minutes, right? We don't have such time here. So I'm not going to explain what it is exactly. But yeah, so stakeholder engagement assessment matrix is a tool inside your stakeholder engagement plan, which is used to assess the stakeholders current level of engagement in your project and what is the desired. Fine. So it is directly again taking care of the question what they are asking. E says work performance reports to track stakeholders' productivity and responsiveness. Close it out. I am not at all going with it. So definitely B and D is the correct choice. Fine. So that's all. Okay. So I'm done with 5 questions. So just the last tip of the day, right? So EduHubSpot, okay, try to help all the PMP aspirants to clear the exams, right? And we also say that when time management is very important for you when you're going to take the PMP exam, right? So you have to answer 180 questions in 230 minutes, which is not simple. If you see, this is how the questions are, right? So time management is very important. As I said, right, if in case you took 2 extra minutes on 10 questions which were too long and too tough, right? So if in case you took minutes on 10 questions, it's like 20 minutes you're wasted. It means you're killing the time for 15 more questions, right? So overall you have to manage your time. Okay, so your questions are into 60, 60, 60, 360 questions, right? So 60, 60, 60, there are 3 sets of 60 questions. Fine. So you have 230 minutes. So after every 60 questions you have a 10 minutes break. PMI gives you for free. Okay, so it's not from your 230 minutes. So after 60 questions you can take a 10 minutes break, whether you're going to take the exam from home or center. Fine. So we suggest you guys is the first 60 question you take, try to do it within 80 minutes. Fine. Why I'm saying 80 minutes is okay to go with the first 60 questions, but you have to get some time to gain a momentum, right? So when you start writing the exam, you need to gain some momentum, so you'll take some starting time, okay, troubles, so that we are saying, okay, first 60 you take some time for 80 minutes. But after the break, when the second set starts, right, you're 61 to 120. Okay, try to complete it within 70 minutes. That's what we say. Okay, so now you have gained the momentum. Okay, your speed is better. Now try to achieve that 60 questions within 70 minutes. Now, after 120 question, if you see the timer, it will have 150 minutes remaining. If in case you have followed 80, 70. Sorry, first 60 if you do by 80, then you have 150 minutes, okay, and you have 120 question remaining. And then second 60 if you use 70 minutes, then you'll have some 80 or 90 minutes remaining, so you have 10 minutes buffer time also. So the last 60 also you go for 70 minutes. So yeah, it's 90 minutes actually. So 70 minutes you go for the last 60, okay, you have a 10 minutes buffer also, you're on a safer zone. So if you follow this, trust me, you can complete your exam on time. You can completely answer 180 questions with proper timing. Else people say, I took more time previously and the last 60, I had only 20 minutes left. I was rushing through it. Never ever fall into that trap. If you're going to rushing through the last 60 questions in 20 minutes, you will very, hard chances of clearing the exam, right? So please try to have this balance. Fine. So first 60 80 minutes, second 60, 70 minutes, last 60, 70 minutes, you can easily crack the exam. Okay. So all the best. Okay. I hope I was able to convey some learnings today and you're taking some learning home. Okay. That is the purpose of this session. Actually, I always try to end the session in 30 minutes, but it always goes for 40, 45. So anyways, I hope I'm giving some learning. So that's the main motive. So thanks all. Thanks a lot for attending. Thanks a lot for participating. Okay, all the time. I can see so many messages also. Thanks a lot for that. All the best. See you soon. Okay, maybe I'll take next session within 2 weeks time. I'll try to. Actually, we are trying to catch up every week, but let's see. Okay, I'll try my best to at least make it bi-weekly. So thank you all. See you again. Thank you for the comments. You like the session, Saurabh. Thanks a lot for that. And guys, do like. Okay, it's in YouTube, right? So after the session, please go and put a like if in case you felt it is a worth. Cool then. Thanks a lot. See you next time.